What's going on, A to Z Sports Titans Camp Live here at St. Thomas Sports Park. I'm Austin Stanley. He is A to Z Sports Titans reporter Sam Phelan. After the first day of Titans and Buccaneers joint practices, I thought it was some great work out there. We'll dive into winners and losers of today's practice. They do practice again here at St. Thomas Sports Park tomorrow for the second day of joint practice. So we'll do that again, do this again after tomorrow's practice as well. But all of our Titans Camp Live segments this training camp are brought to you by Buddy Allen Carpet One. Check them out in Donaldson, right off of Lebanon Pike. That's 2405 Lebanon Pike to be exact, or at BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for over 55 years. You can always see Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen in the store every day. So check them out for their free in-home measures and estimates at BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. So Sam, it's your first time seeing NFL joint practices and training camp. That is your first training camp. So how we kind of split this up, and this is where A to Z can beat everybody in training camp coverage. So we just get more people out there than anybody else. Because Evan Winter, our managing editor, was here today as well, covering the Bucs on that side of things. But I took the Titans offense, and Sam, you took the Titans defense. And so we'll talk about Treylon Burks and a couple injury guys that happened today on the Titans offense. But winners and losers, what did you see overall from the Titans defense and the Bucs offense?
Overall, Austin, I would say it was a win for the Titans defense. Okay. Now, among winners and losers, as simple as it sounds, I thought most of the first team was a winner today and a big-time loser day for the Titans' second-string and third-string defenses, but specifically, Christian Fulton had a wonderful day today. Him, Kevin Byard, Roger McCreary, excellent days in pass coverage. Most of the time, the ones were out there. I think during the 7-on-7 period, the Buccaneers might have completed only 2 or 3 passes, really? and 2 of them might have been checkdowns. It was a lot of good coverage and checkdowns, nothing downfield. Keep in mind, in a 7-on-7 period that is supposed to favor the offense, the Titans were having success. And Big Jeffrey Simmons just ate the Bucs O-line alive today. He was playing with a chip on his shoulder. Setting the tone is what Jeff Simmons said at coming off the practice field, what he was trying to do. And that's exactly what he did. He looked great. He had a couple sacks, a couple pass deflections at the line of scrimmage. So you love to see that out of the Titans ones, bringing the intensity. I thought Caleb Farley started off very strong, but got beaten some of the one-on-ones and started to fade as practice went on. Mike Vrabel said it wasn't his best day. Just kind of as an initial review of Caleb.
Right, yeah.
But no, an overall really strong day from the Titans defense. The second line was tough. I thought there were some guys that thrived, David Aneni being one of them, a guy that continues to show up each and every practice with more opportunity, and a good job by some people in the secondary, including new Titan Lonnie Johnson with an interception on the first series in his first practice in a Titans uniform. Yeah. But Kyle Trask and the Tampa Bay second team was kind of getting whatever they wanted during some of the live 11-on-11 periods. So you can see where some of the concern on depth has kind of come into play here for some of the Titans in terms of their safety depth, cornerback depth, and the middle linebacker depth as well. But the ones had an excellent day.
Right. And I see Caleb says, I hope so, as far as the starters having an excellent day, because there's no Evans, no Godwin, and also no Tom Brady, by the way, out here. So Blaine Gabbert, former Titans backup, is the Bucs starter for the week, at least. But so Zach and I talked about this morning on the morning show of, the Titans DB should have a good day today because they're going up against the lesser or the backups of Tampa Bay. Is that kind of what you saw? I know Julio Jones was still out there, and I'll get to a play here in a second about where Julio got the best of Farley on one play. But did you see like the talent difference between 100%. Titans DBs and Tampa wide receivers?
Yeah, the Titans DBs were all, even Julio. Roger McCreary, Christian Fulton, both did a really nice job matching up with Julio Jones, especially a guy like Roger McCreary, who we've talked about his size and the difference in size that he gives up to NFL wide receivers, let alone a guy of the stature of Julio Jones, to be able to get in there and compete with them. What I really like to see wasn't just good pass coverage. It was playmaking ability on the football. I think they had a fumble and 2 interceptions in live 11-on-11s. And maybe 3 more opportunities at interceptions that they dropped or didn't execute on where the ball got tipped up in the air. But they were aggressive on the football and creating the type of timing that creates turnovers. And I think that was a really encouraging sign out of the Titans starting defense of the pressure of the front seven, making the job of the secondary a lot easier and seeing how easily they got opportunities to turn the ball over.
Yeah, for sure. And there was one play. The Titans have been doing this thing the last week or so in training camp practices where they work on 2-minute drill. So that they'll put a minute 20 on the clock. You start from your own 25-yard line. You have no timeouts. You need a field goal to win the game. Go, right? And there was the Bucs did that situation as well. And there was a play in that situation period where Farley was on coverage with Julio. Julio catches the ball on the side near the sideline. Farley kind of makes a halfway tackle, but falls down on the sideline, and Julio streaks up the sideline before Byard
tried to tackle him by the legs, and it wasn't going with a guy like Julio.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know in a game if Farley would have actually tackled him or pushed him out of bounds or what. But that was one play that I saw from Farley that did not look great. There was also a play in that same type of period where Darden, who is a talented wide receiver the Bucs have, number one out there at practice, a couple attempts towards him with Fulton on him early in that minute 20 clock where Fulton was on him, pass break up, tight coverage, standing over Darden when he was on the field, kind of Fulton feeling himself a little bit. And then they went on a third down. Gabbert went the opposite side of the field to Darden, and he beat Farley, gained 20 yards or so, and sat down to have to come spike the football. So Farley, I kind of, those are the two things I saw from Farley. I didn't get to see, his deflection that could have been intercepted by Kalu or anything else like that.
No, I mean, like I said, it was a really strong start. I tweeted out, that I thought he was having a really strong period. That seemed to kind of fade over time. He came out very aggressive, was kind of fitting right into that group with Fulton, with Byard, with McCreary, causing plays on the football. But as we went on, as you said, some missed tackles, some missed opportunities to make plays. And in those live periods, that's what the Titans coaches are looking at. I do want to get to, before you go to the offense real quick, Dwayne had said, what about the rest of the D-line? I mean, Jeffrey Simmons was the highlight, but I thought pressure was good the entire time, especially with the ones Bud Dupree had a few big sacks, a few big pressures as well, where still not live in terms of hitting the quarterback. Sure. You can't always tell, but there was a lot of plays blown dead and a lot of hurries from Gabbert and Trask, which caused a lot of opportunities for turnovers.
Yeah, no doubt. So winners and losers of Titans Bucs joint practice. Sam just went through the Titans defense. I have winners and losers from the Titans offense and also the injury updates for Treylon Burks and Nate Davis for what we saw out there today at Titans practice. But all of our Titans Camp Live segments are brought to you by Buddy Allen Carpet One. Go check them out in Donaldson off Lebanon Pike or simply at BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. They always offer you free in-home measures and estimates. So check them out. Full service flooring company like Buddy Allen Carpet One does not mean it costs you more money. Get experienced flooring work done by Buddy Allen's professional certified installers and actually save money. Best of both worlds. Save money, qualified workers, guaranteed their work, only at a locally owned and operated company with Buddy Allen Carpet One. And the website one more time, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. So quickly on the Titans offense, here's how the day started. They did one-on-ones, Titans offense versus Bucs DBs. There were yellow flags all over the field. Kyle Phillips had 3 reps. He caught the ball twice, and he drew 2 pass interference penalties. And so even when he had 1 catch, he drew a flag on it too. Reggie Robertson, I thought, was a winner from that period by alone. Mason Kinsey, Robert Woods, those guys had some opportunities. And then things were kind of congested in practice until towards the end of that one-on-one period, Treylon Burks goes deep, one-handed catch, bomb from Tannehill down the left sideline. He catches it, kind of dives into the end zone for a touchdown. And then they went to team period right after that. And on the second play of team period, Tannehill aired it out. They were starting on their own 20-yard line. Tannehill aired this thing, like he reared back to chuck it.
He's been doing that.
He's been throwing it out deep.
He has been,
they've been
being intentional about whether it's Racey McMath or Treylon Burks, even Kyle Phillips at times. They're trying to throw the ball deep down the field.
Yep, and so he airs this thing out to Burks, who had a step on the defender, blew by the defender, catches and tracks the football, well-thrown ball out in front of Burks to go get it. Burks catches, runs into the end zone for what would have been an 80-yard touchdown. It was pretty impressive, but that's the last thing we saw from Treylon Burks. So after he did that, again, he 80-yard touchdown. He went back to the huddle, another 80 yards back to the huddle, and then he was spotted with a trainer walking another 100 yards from the huddle back to the facility, right? So they were on the far side is where they were huddling. And Braden Gall from 440 Sports was really the only one who saw this as I was on my phone. Apparently, Burks walked right in front of me as I was posting an Instagram video or a tweet or something. And Braden said that Burks kind of gave like that a left leg, like shake it out type motion as he was walking. And that's really all we know. But he did not come back out, but he made 2 big plays. And again, if it was serious to me, he wouldn't have run back towards the huddle another 80 yards and then have to walk across the entire field to get back towards the facility. So I don't know how serious it is. We'll see if Treylon Burks is out here again tomorrow. And even Braden was kind of telling us as we were all like, what happened? What'd you see? He was like, I gave a left leg shake, but I don't know. He could have had a rock in his shoe for all I know. I mean, you don't really know. You don't want to assume anything, ankle, foot, whatever. But that's the update on Treylon Burks.
I do want to get Donald had said, how was Malik Willis today? Austin, from what I saw, I mean, you saw a lot more of him, but as you mentioned, that 2-minute drill, it was a lot of the same things with Malik Willis of just feeling like he needed to get the ball out. And there were struggles in that 2-minute period of him not being able to get the ball out on time and with an aggressive defensive line coming at him. A lot of plays blown dead for sacks and a lot of pressure that kind of was self-induced with not finding the open man early. How did you feel?
So Malik Willis is like simultaneously a winner and a loser from today's practice, because Malik is a winner? Because the Titans gave him all the second team reps, and not just the second team reps. He got like second series where it would go like Tannehill, Willis, Woodside, Tannehill, Willis, or it would go Tannehill, Willis, Tannehill, Willis, Woodside. So it would take a while before Woodside would actually get any reps. And so that's a good thing for Malik Willis. And for Titans fans who want to see more Malik Willis, he's getting a lot more reps. He got significantly more opportunities today than Logan Woodside did. But the loser side of things for Malik Willis is he's hanging in the pocket longer, but he's still not throwing the ball. And there was a couple times during the 2-minute drill that you're talking about, I was actually standing closer to the opposite end zone, had a great view. Reggie Robertson was open in 2 different zone windows and nothing happened. And Willis threw it late, but it got whistled a sack. And so you like that he's getting more opportunity. You like that he's not bailing out of the pocket early, but you still need to see him throw the ball. It's to the point where he takes a snap, and the media is going like, throw it. Like we're like under our breath, like throw the ball. Like
we're all looking at our watches, kind of counting how many seconds it takes, and it's almost always too long.
Yeah, it's like throw the ball, please. So, Malik Willis kind of a simultaneous winner and loser. I think a couple other he did make some nice plays. Like right after the Burks bomb, Malik Willis on the run threw a pretty football to NWI on a crossing route. NWI caught it in stride. He was wide open. He made some moves down the field. And then Racing McMath got a deep ball from Tannehill shortly after that. So during that little period early, the offense in the passing game looked pretty good. Tannehill also talked about how they ran the ball pretty well. And I saw a couple nice runs from Hilliard, Haskins, and then also from Chestnut too. So a lot of action from the running backs
and
too.
Good to see out of the offensive line. Dylan Radins was in at right tackle. I noticed a couple reps that he got blown up in pass protection, but overall it felt like that starting offensive line group was pretty efficient and pretty strong in front of Tannehill and setting the tone for the run game.
Yeah, no, there were a couple times. Tannehill threw a really bad interception to Devin White, like the second or third team period of practice, and it was Aaron Brewer just got shoved right back into Tannehill's face, and Tannehill threw it right to Devin White, basically a pick six in that situation. So, you don't want to see that, and that kind of brings me to Nate Davis. I didn't see it happen. Nate Davis and NPF were the right guard, right tackle on the first session of team drills where Burks caught the touchdown bomb from Tannehill. And then after that, it seemed like Radins got the most of the reps at starting right tackle. But after that first session, there was no more Nate Davis. And I don't know what happened. He went inside. He was not on the sideline. Jordan Ruse got right guard reps with the first team in Nate Davis's absence. And then, the offensive line, while it was okay today, there is a lot of room to grow when it comes to pass protection. They ran the ball better today than their pass protection was as a whole. But again, the biggest loser for the Titans offense today, Sam, is Logan Woodside. He's not getting as much opportunity.
And he's not taking advantage of the opportunity he is.
Exactly.
The sloppiness that we saw in Baltimore has been a regular thing in practice so far. It just has been. And Logan Woodside knows the offense. He knows where to be. But right now, I don't know if it's a mental thing or what's going on with him. He's turning the ball over at an alarming rate in practice, where I know you noted he got sacked on a play and still threw an interception on the same play. This is coming this weekend when I was here and you weren't here at practice, Austin. He threw a pick 6 to rookie Trey Swilling in a 7-on-7 red zone drill.
Right.
So there's been some sloppiness with Logan so far in the football. And as you said, less and less opportunity coming his way as camp's unfolding here.
If Malik Willis would just throw the ball quicker, then there would be no competition. Like, that's kind of how I feel about this.
Yeah, I think it's fair because right now Malik Willis hasn't taken the bull by the horns yet. And
so
that's
it's on both of them, right?
They're waiting on Malik to take the bull by the horns. And it feels like every practice, it's not happening yet. And the light switch has not flicked on yet, which we're still waiting on. Before we wrap up here, one last winner, Austin.
Yeah.
Randy Bullock.
Yes.
Randy Bullock, after the concern that we had earlier this week because he was missing from deep, a couple nice kicks today in some of those 2-minute drill simulations, hitting from, I believe, 53 and 50 on a couple different occasions. So Randy Bullock, positive sign. I guess he won a little bit today.
Here's what happened, right? Because Monday, when he missed 3 kicks on Monday, which was the same amount of kicks he missed all camp before Monday, he missed 3 on Monday because Brett Kern was not holding on Monday. Stonehouse was holding on Monday. Stonehouse was holding today.
Yeah.
So Brett Kern basically got the day off. He was out there practicing and watching because Stonehouse, they're trying to see what Stonehouse can do and get him reps for this holding job if that's a situation. But Stonehouse holding today. Randy was perfect. I think he missed 1. I think he went 7 for 8 in his solo field goal period, and then kicked the 2 long field goals in the 2-minute drive situation. So Randy has been a big time storyline. I said this, I think on Monday morning's show, Sam, that Ryan Tannehill being so good is the most under talked about storyline of Titans camp. Randy Bullock might be right behind him at number 2.
I think so. And it's honestly a big positive that one practice that he missed a couple kicks was really the first time anybody had thought to themselves, he's had a really good training camp, that we haven't talked about any of his misses so far.
Exactly.
But he was able to bounce back nicely. And I know that 2-minute drill, as we've said, has been something the Titans and Mike Vrabel have been intentional about working on and being prepared to have to run out there and kick a field goal and get set in 10 seconds. And it was at play today and being able to execute it a couple times. So no real drama at the kicker position. Punter might be a little interesting heading forward with the Kern and Stonehouse battle. But Randy Bullock has been lights out so far and a real positive winner from today's camp.
Absolutely. Hey, it's almost 1:30 Central Time. There is something going out on A to Z Sports social media. Sam, you don't even know what this is yet, but there is something going on at 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, keep your eyes out for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We'll post it everywhere. So keep an eye out for something fun. And I'm really excited about this. Going to come out at 2 o'clock for A to Z Sports. And then Sam, I haven't even asked you, what are you writing about today? What do you have coming up on the website, A to Z Sports.com?
Well, today I'm going to break down the new guy in the room, Lonnie Johnson, being fresh into the Titans secondary and making a few plays, as well as Kevin Byard named a player who he believes is the defensive X factor in 2022, and he's already making plays. So we're going to take a look at the Titans X factor in 2022 and what he can bring to set this defense apart and have them play just like they played today, because it was a big day for the Titans defense in joint practices.
Absolutely. So Sam Phelan, Austin Stanley, you can read Sam's work this afternoon at A2Zsports.com and keep an eye out for 2 o'clock Central Time today on our social media at A to Z Sports, wherever you watch. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning on A to Z Sports. And Buck Rising, who just left practice right before we went live too, he will be live A to Z Sports prime time tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time with Bucks observations. He was out here as well. So we'll see you guys later on. Have a good one. Thanks.